And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the final series of the broadcast. Welcome back to the Fusion Esports League Cracov 2025 Polish Championship Group B decider match. Again, Geralt, he was the first player to advance on out of the group in first place into the playoffs. Meanwhile, Papi, he was the first to be knocked out of the group. He is out of the group in last place, and we're here to determine who will be the second player to advance on into those playoffs. Will it be our Terran? Will it be our Protoss? Up to you to decide. We'll get into it. As for now, we're jumping in and spawning in the right-hand corner of Tokamak. We have the Polish Terran player. We have the red Terran representing ROC Esports, the best Terran in all of Poland. It is Spirit. Piotr. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as a opponent, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. It is ArT. And if you're in the chat, get your Gamba going. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open and place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our PVT. Coming into this, Spirit is going to be the favorite player for sure, but I'm sure that ArT has something special in store, special planned here for his opponent. We'll see if he can bring it home. We'll see if he can cause and force the upset. We'll see. As again, he does have a mountain to climb. He does have a Piotr to climb. Oh boy. Let's go. Let us go. So now we do have an economic opener out of Spirits going for a single gas, which means a ranks expand out of our Terran player. So more economic starts with slowing things down early on. As the CC is on the way. And of course ArT confirms. Gonna be as annoying as possible, but has to get the hell out of here to avoid the Marine. Does pull away. ArT expanding back at him as well, and we're getting into Tokamak. And welcome one and all to Tokamak. Tokamak, of course, is going to be, or is one of the larger maps in the map pool, known for longer macro games as well. Now, we did see Spirit take a much more aggressive approach against Geralt. We saw Spirit, he was going for early pushes, early timings, early move outs, a lot of drop play as well, a lot of dedicated drops, just trying to pull Geralt apart and try to break him, and it was working. It was working for a time, but Geralt, he was able to stabilize. Eventually, he was able to stabilize. Eventually, despite the early and mid game going more heavily in favor of Spirit, more often than not, we saw that Geralt was able to eventually slow things down again, stabilize, and bounce back against Geralt. It was still a very intense and back and forth series, of course. I do recommend it, especially Game 3. Like, Game 3 was very back and forth, and it was nonsense. But we'll see how ArT can hold his own. We'll see if he can hold his own. Oh boy. So now we have our take of choice, Twilight Council opener out of ArT. Does open Twilight Council. Behind this, we have a 1-1-1 out of Spirits going for the factory into Starport. Tech Lab is on the way, so wouldn't mind opener into Tech Lab, and we should be starting off with a mine drop, but following this, we could go for an early Cyclone. We can go for an add-on swap instead. Are we going for the swap? No, we're not. Okay, Cyclone first. So Cyclone opener here out of Spirits, going for the early drop, going for the early move out. And we'll see if ArT can keep up. For now, ArT's going for a very safe opener. He's going 3 gates blink into a robo before expanding. There are players that cut corners, that go for the expansion before the robo, or even the expansion before the third gateway, of course, as well. There are greedier builds you can go for, but ArT is playing safe. He's playing it safe. Hallucination moves out. Hallucination does spot the move out, does spot the Widowmine, does spot all the Marines. He is not aware of the follow-up reinforcing Cyclone, and it is going to be Cyclone into add-on swap into, not Banshee, Raven Harass. Okay. So a bit of a tamer follow-up here, not as dedicated or as committed. As Spirit, he's going to be moving in. No shield battery. Uh-oh. No shield ways to defend, but there's a force field. There's a Guardian shield as well. Does go for the force field. Does slow down the push. Just buying time for extra warp ins. But again, the lack of shield battery is brutal here. I did mention that ArT was going for a safe opener, but not too safe. Yeah, Blink is done in a couple of seconds. The gateway is going to go down. Nice pick up here by Spirit. Mine shot is baited. Blink is done. Oh, and he does dive in, and he will select the medevac. Massive pickoff. Will lose the gateway for it, but he does shut down the medevac, the Cyclone, and the entire army. Whew. ArT holds, and ArT gets away with his third base. Does get away with it. So I would say a better setup here from ArT. Sure, he lost a gateway, but it's okay, it's fine. Does maintain map control. Spirit, the pressure is on. He's going in for some auto harass into the main. Meanwhile, a big shout to Muka Shade in the chat. Hold on. Slash shout out to Muka Shade. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. And welcome one and all to again the final series of the broadcast. Stalkers able into the main base, but the tank does punish, and ArT is forced out. He'll lose one Stalker, is forced out of the main base at the same time. Raven harass here into the bases. There's a shield battery in position, and ArT does defend. ArT defends against the Raven. Meanwhile, Spirit defends against the counter-attack. We have 2 bunkers on low ground. Spirit taking a very strong, very defensive stance here with 2 tanks in the main base and 2 bunkers at the natural as well. So Spirit, he's heavily fortified. He just turtles up. He turtles on up. And it's going to be on ArT to contain his opponent and to expand. To be a little bit greedier here, to saturate his bases. But again, a big shout out to Muka Shade. So thank you so much. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great time. Thank you for the raid. Thank you. And for those who are just now tuning in, again, this is the Polish Championship, the FEL Cracov Polish Championship. This is an online tournament where the best players in Poland are facing off. Of course, tomorrow is going to be the playoffs. Tomorrow, we crown our champion. Today, though, we're determining the players to make it through to the playoffs. And this is all leading to a big offline event happening in Krakow at the end of the month. Or Cracov, depending on where you are. Ooh, catching out a Stalker. Yeah, Spirit, he breaks out. A stim is going to finish by the time the army gets across the map, so this is going to be a stim timing with combat shields as well. ArT trying to slow this down. Not quite able to. Nibbling away at the army. Prism going for a counterattack. But Spirit, he sends everything across the map here. There is going to be a shield battery at least. Yeah, shield battery to defend. Spirit's moving in. Tanks are sieging. He's going for the shield battery. Shield battery, the first thing to go down. Yes, so no shield battery supports. Gets into the middle line. Charge is not yet done. And probes are going down. Getting 9, 10 workers at the same time. Tanks are exposed. Both tanks are going to go down. But that's going to be 18 probe kills. Oh my god. Brutal damage here. He eviscerates the economy. 18 workers going down. The Minimax, they will get away. There's not enough Stalkers. And Spirit, he may have lost 2 tanks, but he does cripple the economy here of ArT. At the same time, the Prism was across the map. It doesn't really do much. Wasn't able to harass at the same time. And Spirit takes a lead. Spirit, he's up by 10 workers. Spirit behind this, he is taking up. 3rd CC is already done. Will soon be landing on location. And Spirit is in a stronger position here. The pressure is on ArT. And the pressure is on. Again, ArT unfortunately just was not ready for that push. Here comes that 3rd base. Spirit, he has that supply lead, and that supply lead should be getting even greater here. Once the 3rd base kicks in. Once the 3rd base does kick in. Right now the pressure's on ArT to recover, either with Zealot drop plays, Zealot harass, Zealot run bys as well. Catching out some drops. If Spirit overextends, if he's a little bit too greedy with the drop play, if he's a little bit too cavalier, then he might be punished for it. We'll see if ArT can make something happen. Dropping into the main. Drops into the bases. Last Spirit, he's in position. The Prism's going to be hunted down. There's no recall to save it. Spirit, he defends well. At the same time, he's pushing in. He only has the 1 Colossus. He's nibbling away at the 3rd base, but here come the Vikings, and there's limited anti-air. Oh, good. Yeah, brutal EMP. Colossus is going to go down. ArT will lose everything. There's no way out of this. Colossus goes down. The Immortals go down. Gets 3 SCVs, gets some damage with GG, and Spirit, he will take aim at number 1. GG. Yeah, strong game 1 here from Spirit. Again, I will say that ArT, he did well when it came to the initial early game defense. Remember, he defended quite well against the early Cyclone push, against the early drop. He defended well. He took his 3rd base. Unfortunately, he missed the move out. He didn't really see how committed, or I say that, he did see the tanks pushing and he tried to slow it down. What I'm getting at is that he moved the prism across the map. He unfortunately wasn't quite in position to delay the push or to force an earlier siege, so he was pinned back at his third base. And yeah, we saw Spirit just take full advantage of the passivity there of ArT. And ArT was overwhelmed. He was overwhelmed, he lost his mineral line, and that was almost game then and there. Like, that was critical damage. That was critical damage, and with that we saw Spirit overwhelmed. GG well played. With that, Spirit takes game 1, but we'll see if ArT can recover coming into game number 2. Here we go. Yeah, getting into game 2 here. Gonna be loading into Ultra Love. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the blue Polish Protoss player down in the series, but it's a best of 5. We got plenty more games ahead of us. Now's the time, though, to start that comeback. It is ArT. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Terran player, the Polish Terran representing ROC Esports. It is Spirit. We go. Goes. Welcome on to Ultra Love. Ultra Love is going to be one of the smaller maps of the map pool. Shorter rush distance by ground, aggression and all-ins are favored on this map. Now, even though Spirit has been quite aggressive throughout today's broadcast, in this series and even in the series against Geralt as well, he has been aggressive. In saying that, though, Spirit, he can... Of course, he hasn't been going for all-ins. Right? That's true, right? He hasn't been going for these all-ins. He's been going for aggressive move-outs and aggressive timings. That is true. But typically, he does have a third base behind it. Typically, he's working on a greater step there, or he's working on a longer game. Typically, as this time, double gas. Ooh, double gas opener. The probe is locked into the main, and we are going for a faster factory. So this is going to be a more tech-heavy style, a tech-heavy start. So it's going to be a faster factory into potentially faster Cyclone production, could go into Reactor Reaper Hellion, could go for a more committed Mine Drop, could go for an earlier Tech Lab into an earlier add-on swap into earlier Banshee play. Regardless, it's just more tech-heavy than what we saw previously, which I do actually like here on Ultra Love. And ArT is aware. ArT, he doesn't know exactly what's coming his way, but he knows that something is. As the probe is going to be shut down. So it's going to be Reaper into Reactor. ArT, he did spot the Reactor. Is aware of that at least. And from here we can go into Reactor Reaper Hellion. We can go for an add-on swap into Reactor Mine play, for example. Or just Reactor Marine into Tech Lab. What's it going to be? Okay, Water Mine production has begun. No Hellions. No Tech Lab either. Reaper goes in, and we have our take a choice Twilight Council after the Reaper gets zoned away. So Spirit is not fully aware. Meanwhile, nice snipe here on the building SCV. Okay. ArT did open up Zealot to punish, and he does punish. He does delay. CC is delayed. Reaper's racing back home. Marines soon to arrive. Getting on top of the Zealots. SCV back to building. Woodermine does burrow. Mine shot does not go off. Getting on top of the Adept though. Adept does take down the Reaper at least. Takes down the Reaper. Up. Delaying the CC once again. The second Adept has arrived, and ArT, he's overwhelming. Yeah, it does overwhelm. Does take down the army. Takes down the SCV as well. Very nice start out of ArT. Okay, let's go. Takes over the natural, and behind this we are going for a potential drop play, but so many Marines have gone down. The Widowmine has gone down, and Spirit just cannot expand. He's being punished quite hard here. And back at home, ArT's chilling. ArT's probing, getting a robo, working towards Blink. So very nice through the game here by ArT. punishing how late the CC is, and punishing the building CC specifically. Is he's still rallying? Oh, this is a bit of an overextension, I would say. Yeah, this is an overextension. He will lose the Adept and lose a Stalker. So ArT just getting a little bit too, getting a little bit too greedy towards the end. A little bit overly aggressive. And here comes the drop. Now what's important is that ArT, he saw this. Remember, he saw the Cyclone, he saw the Medevac, like he knows that something should be coming his way. Behind this, going into tank a Banshee. Okay. So Banshee follow up here out of Spirit. Pylon taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. The Pylon is going to go down. Nice juggling. Oh no, that Cyclone does fall. And ArT holds. ArT holds, he defends, does punish the Cyclone. I mean, sure, he lost a Pylon, and sure, some buildings are depowered. But ArT does hold. And I would still say that the pressure is still on Spirit to get some damage done. That's why he's pushing. Like, Spirit, he's got to get something done here. His tank has arrived. The boys are being pulled. We have a second tank. We have the Banshee as well. And it's go time here for Spirit. At the same time, ArT moves out. Does spot the army. Comes in from behind. Catching out a tank. Can he get it? Oh, the tank. Oh, my God. Whew. Yeah, clutch save. Popping up there by Spirit. He does save the tank. But he's being delayed. He's being delayed. He's being caught. Being scouted. Got the mass repair. He does beat out 1-2 Marines. Spirit, he's pushing. But ArT so far, he's all over Spirit. He's all over it. Oh, snipes the Banshee. Jesus. Snipes the Banshee. Tanks, they're getting within range though. But so far, it's been a very impressive defense here by ArT. Just punishing the reinforcements. Catching Spirit out. Getting ready for the surround. We have to pull the boys. It's going to be close. We have reinforcements coming from behind as well. Who surrounds who? Stalkers, they blink in. They get one tank. They get one. They get the Medevac. They get the second tank as well. Marines, they try to punish. Spirit, he's still pushing in. Spirit, he's pretty all-in here. Like, Spirit, I mentioned earlier that he's not really known for all-ins, but he is all-in at this point. He does maintain this position, getting on top of the Cybercore. Charge only just begins. Charge is still a ways away. No shield batteries. Stalkers are punished. Spirit trying to force his way into the natural. Does dive in, takes down the tank. Tank goes down, Banshee as well. And ArT is holding, but here comes another tank. Another tank has arrived. And Spirit, he might barely have too much. Like it's a bit of a messier all in here. It hasn't messier, it hasn't been clean, but he's doing it. He's pushing through. The charge is almost complete. There's a scan. Reveals more slow loads warp-ins. Bunkers are on the way. If these bunkers get up and running, then he might just kill the Nexus. Oh, ArT, he has to try to break through. But again, he can only warp in Zealots. Does wriggle the probes here to the third. Trying to get an economy. Okay, here come the charge. Let's say down the Marines. But the bunker finishes. Yeah, bunker does finish in time. And the tank does hold a no shot Spirit. Can he do it? It's close. Down to one Zealot. One Zealot left. Another Zealot comes in. Going for the tank. No, he doesn't break through. He doesn't break through the tank. No, he wants him. Gets the tank, but GG. Spirit, he does break through. He does barely overwhelm. And Spirit will take a 2-0 lead. GG. Ay. That was so close and so clutch. Like, ArT, he was doing so much right in that game, right? When he was able to surround, come in from behind, catch reinforcing tanks, catch reinforcing Marines. Unfortunately, a big factor there was he lost his Cybercore. I don't know if I noticed it, but I didn't point it out. I did point out that he lost the Cybercore. I didn't point out that it took him a long time to throw it down. Like, he didn't rebuild it immediately. He actually waited a long time there to rebuild. So because of that, that's why he was warping in slow lots for so long. That's why he wasn't reinforcing with more Stalkers. That's why he couldn't actually engage and he couldn't actually break that position. He was being bullied back. He was being punished for the late reaction to rebuilding the Cybercore, and he was stuck with slow lots for so long. towards the end, charge kicked in, but by then he had already lost all of his stalkers, he had already lost a lot of momentum. Likewise, he wasn't able to mine because we saw that Spirit, he forced his way up the ramp to deny half the mining at the natural, and GG. GG well played. A very, very intense all-in there by Spirits, and he barely pulled it off. Crazy. Crazy setup, crazy game, and with that, GG well played. With that, we're getting into game 3, and I'm hoping for a back and forth. I'm hoping that, I mean, again, like, ArT was not looking bad in that game. It was not looking bad at all, but, you know, we saw a couple of crucial mistakes, or just a couple of crucial inefficiencies from ArT when it came to that defense, and yeah, Spirit, he punished. Did barely punish. And here we go. We're getting into game number 3. Let's go. As morning, in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran player himself. We have the Polish Terran leading the series 2-0, but that was a shaky game too. That was a very shaky game. We'll see if he can close it out here and now. Representing ROC Esports, it is Spirit. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the Polish Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes down in the series. But again, that was such a close game. We'll see if he can bring it back and make a series out of this. Give us a game 4, give us a game 5. It is ArT. Here we go. Whew. So calming down. Settling into our next game. Potentially the final game of the series. Potentially. It all comes down to this. And again, shout out to those working behind the scenes at the Fusion Esports League. Big shout out. Geralt, of course, for helping to organize, all the sponsors as well. A bit of a later GLHF. Some of those things are ArT, he's locked in, maybe a little bit tilted, maybe, and just that remember, she's like, oh right, I didn't. It happens, it happens. Still works Game Fest. Infolet, of course. Infolet, the longtime supporters of StarCraft. And of course, many others. Hold on, I got a list, right? Infolet's, the city of Cracov. True. Still works Game Fest. No, God, I'm not gonna try to say. Centrum Cultry. What else do we have? Broadcast Smith as well. True. Much love. Now then, we're calming down. Once again, going for the CC on the high ground. Okay. So economic opener, racks expand, but CC on the high ground this time. So here coming into game number 3, we saw how much damage and how difficult it was for Spirit to maintain his low ground expansion last game. This time, high ground expansion to keep it safe, to make sure there's no early shenanigans, right? This time there's no zealots or adept or any kind of disruption here at the CC. Going for a 1-1-1 add-on swap here. Reactor into add-on swap into reactor Hellion into what? Into Hellion drop. Let's go proxy starport. Now I say Hellion drop, this should be a proxy starport into a medevac to drop the 4 Hellions into the main base to roast up some probes. Otherwise, this could be one of 2 things. This could also be just 4 Hellions to harass the natural, and then we proxy Liberator. So you can go proxy Liberator from here, but we're expecting proxy medevac. As Hellions are moving out. Now how many, there it is, medevac is on the way. How many Hellions to one-shot a worker? 3. Takes 3 Hellions to one-shot a probe, and if they line up, I mean, the Hellions, they do splash damage. So it's that much more. We do see the ArT split up in between his bases. ArT has limited scouting information. He did not open sentry. Ooh, he went double stalker into a delayed sentry, which means a later hallucination scout. So ArT is working with incomplete information. Warp gate is just now finishing up. Here we go. Drop into the main. Armies at the natural. And the Hellions have arrived. They're headed for the mineral line here. There is an opening. Probe's going to be going down. He gets 1 so far. He gets up to 3. Yeah, 3 probe kills, getting up to 5. Getting up to 6. 1 Hellion goes down. And gets 1 more volley towards the end. 9 probe kills. 10 probe kills. And he pulls away. Ephemeria does pull away, does save his Hellions. So 2 Hellions for 10 workers, a very nice trade here for Spirit. Going back in. Oh no, the Jukes! He goes back in, he wants more. He can 2-shot. He can 2-shot probes with 2. Does come in, 1 more volley. Ooh. 11 probes, 13. Oh my god. 13 workers do go down. A very nice damage here from Spirit. Remember, Hellions, they don't scale well into a longer game, so 13 worker kills is beautiful here for Spirit. And ArT, he's in trouble. Like, ArT falls behind, he has a counterattack, he's pushing as we speak, Blink is almost done, and he has to get something done across the map. Back at home, what do we have? Bunkers. As you can see, Spirit, he's getting ready for the counterattack bunker here on the low ground. Likewise, tank is ready in the main. Nice SimCity here, walling up to make sure the tank is safe. This is when Spirit is at his most vulnerable, but honestly, he's looking pretty secure. Given a little bit more time, we'll have another tank. ArT waiting for the Observer, waiting for the Hallucination, waiting for High Ground Vision, claiming his 3rd base. Spirit, he rooks up to get eyes on the 3rd. ArT, he spots the tank, he blinks in, and he shouldn't get the tank. Yeah, he shouldn't get it. The tank does pull away, boys are pulled to repair, the tank will survive, and the Stalkers, oh no, they're all punished, all the Stalkers go down, GG gets called, and Spirit, he will survive, he will defend after crippling the economy, and Spirit, he will advance on into the playoffs. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Congratulations, Spirit. He will claim the series. He did come in as a favorite player here, and I will say that ArT, he was looking quite strong in game 2. Like, things looked very close, very intense in game 2, but for the most part, Spirit, he was in control of this series, and in the end, he was able to overwhelm, overpower, and make it into the main event. I mean, Spirit, he is the strongest Terran player in Poland, so, you know, he's one of the favorites that everyone expected to make it through, but regardless, it was still a very intense series, an intense back and forth. GG, well played. And with that, we have our top 4 players confirmed. Let's go over the group stage. Let's go over the playoff bracket. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back yourselves. We have some catching up to do. And if you weren't here yesterday, we can go over Group A results as well. Let's go. Let us go. Again, congratulations to our top 4 players. We'll just go over them. We had yesterday, of course, Group A. I do recommend checking out the VODs. We had some very, very close series here. I'll be honest, in my mind, Group A was the closest one to call. In my mind, Laser, Mana, and Cristiano are very close in skill, and that could have gone either direction. In the end, Laser and Mana did make it through into the playoffs here. You see here such a close back and forth between Cristiano and Mana. Cristiano, he was up 2-0, and then Mana was able to win 3 games in a row, and again, really, really intense PvP between Mana and Cristiano. Likewise, Cristiano, he never played against Laser. Laser was able to avoid him, and even Laser against Mana went to the ace match as well. Like, really, really close games, a lot of ace matches between Laser, Cristiano, and Mana. In the end, Laser and Mana made it through. Cristiano and Thrifax were knocked out, and that was, of course, yesterday's group. Today, Group B. Today we have Geralt. Geralt, he makes it through in 1st place, and Spirit makes it through in 2nd. I would say that Group B was a little bit more favored here in regards to the top 2 players. A little bit more, there was just some more favorite players, I should say. ArT and Bappy are a little bit less active as of late. Despite that, we had some close games. You know, Bappy, he went toe to toe with Geralt, of course. ArT, likewise, he even had his own strong showing as well. Did go down in the end to Spirit in a 3-0 fashion, of course, but you know, still was able to put on some good games, put on a good show, and in the end, Spirit and Geralt, they will make it through into the playoffs. And here we have them. As you can see here, this is going to be tomorrow's broadcast. You can see here in 19 hours or 20 hours, in 20 hours time, we're going to be live with the playoffs. We have Geralt versus Mana in the lower semifinals, and we have a Laser versus Spirit in the upper semifinals. So we have a Protoss confirmed for the finals, a Protoss also confirmed for the 3rd place match. It's going to be best of 5, best of 5, best of 7, and then best of 9 finals. That is crazy. A best of 9 finals. That's gonna be a long broadcast, let me tell you. it's gonna be a long broadcast, and what's gonna be brutal about it is it's gonna be a back and forth. It's gonna be a back-to-back broadcast as well, as tomorrow we're going to be live with the Sparkling Tuna Cup before the Polish Championship playoffs. So 2 broadcasts back to back. I do also want to apologize for those that were maybe looking for a broadcast earlier today. As you can see, we are just wrapping up with the Sunday morning broadcast at 1 AM KST. We just wrapped up the Polish Championship. As you can see, we were supposed to cast the FEL qualifier. This was at this point, like, what, 7-8 hours ago. We were supposed to be casting the FEL qualifiers, but I'll be honest, I wasn't really feeling too good. I wasn't really feeling at 100%. I wasn't feeling the best, so I did decide to you know, have a bit of a nap, have some rest. We did miss the Fusion Esports League Global Qualifier number 3 as a result, so I do apologize for that. I saw the results afterwards, and I do wish that I was able to cover it and I was able to cast it. Instead, I did rest up to make sure that I was in best shape and best form for this cast. Otherwise, it would have also been a back-to-back broadcast. So I do apologize for that. As a result, I don't think there was any English coverage for the FEL Global Qualifier number 3. That was again earlier today. That was again like 8 hours ago at this point. So I do apologize for that. But at least we were here for the Group B coverage, and I'm pretty satisfied with how we covered it. So GG will play some really fun games, really fun matches. Our next broadcast, as you can see here, is going to be at 7 p.m. KST. That's going to be in around. Oh, Jesus, that's going to be at 8 p.m. AEST. That's going to be in around 15 hours. In 15 hours time, we're going to be live with Sparkling Tuna Cup. That is our weekly open tournament, and it's going to be from Sparkling Tuna Cup leading into the Fusion Esports League playoffs. So back to back, one cast right into the other. It's going to be a very intense broadcast, a very intense night of StarCraft, just because it's going to be a lot of games. I'll do my best to be well rested and be good for it. I'll do my best. I'll be honest, I have been a little bit under the weather over the past couple of weeks. I don't know if you noticed, but I have been a lot more lower energy, and I've been casting less as a result. I do apologize for that. usually, you know, we're going strong and we're casting everything, but over the past 2 weeks, I'm casting a little bit less. Have been a little bit, yeah, just low energy and low, even a little bit of low motivation because of the low energy as well. But you know, we'll get back on that horse, of course. EWC is around the corner as well, so we'll be there for it. We'll be there for it as well. And obviously we have to be there for Fusion Esports League as well, and our own tournaments. So the broadcast, the casting will go on as always. We'll go on. We'll go on. When it comes to our calendar, this week is going to be pretty busy. Again, we have one cast a day every single day, at least one, typically two. We have the Galaxy Cup, we have StarCraft Evolution Masters, we have SEL, the Last Chance Qualifiers, we have Sea Ducklings Open, Sparkling Tuna Cup, we have the Platinum StarCraft 2 League monthly tournaments. That's going to be next weekend as well. And the Esports World Cup is in just over a week's time. It's next week. It's right around the corner. I already announced this before, but may as well announce it again. We do have permission to co-stream, just like last year. Last year we co-streamed. This year we're going to be co-streaming EWC as well. What does co-streaming mean? That means that it's going to be like a viewer party. It means that we most likely will not have a clean feed. Instead, we're going to have a bit of a dirtier feed instead. We're going to have a feed with the casters, where we can hear the casters as well. And we'll be able to, like, I guess, supplement that commentary or provide our own commentary over it. And we can enjoy EWC together here on the CranKy Ducklings. That'll be the plan. I believe the talent lineup was just announced, and they've got basically everyone's going to get involved. Artosis, Tasteless, Zombie Grub, Pig, Rotterdam, State, Kalaris, Fear Dragon, Cats, like all the regulars. I think basically the same lineup that we had last year is going to be there this year as well. Oh boy. And again, we'll be here co-streaming. We'll be here co-streaming, covering the event here on the CranKy Ducklings. If you want an idea of what our co-streaming is like, I was pretty satisfied with our co-streaming last year. Basically, like, just taking a bit of a step back and just adding some commentary here and there, letting them cast when they can, or stepping in at times. True, we did have to take control of the wheel at some times for some of those games, for sure. But the VODs are on Twitch. The VODs are on Twitch. The VODs were not uploaded to YouTube, but the VODs are on Twitch for last year's broadcast. And yeah, with that we're wrapping up. With that, wrapping up for today. Also, for some greater context, some of you might be curious, might be thinking, hold up, isn't there going to be an offline tournament in Cracov? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Bam. So this is the Polish Championship. This is an online tournament. The offline tournament is after Esports World Cup. There's a big $8,000 offline tournament happening in Krakow, in Poland, and basically the winner of this Polish Championship gets an invite to that offline finals, to that offline tournament. So this championship leads into another tournament. Scrolling all the way up, you can see it here. You can see here. Qualifies to Fusion Esports League Cracov 2025. So this does qualify into another offline tournament, or to another tournament but it's going to be offline in Krakow. That's going to be an $8,000 prize pool, and it was already announced. Certain players, certain invites have already been announced. Clem is going to be there. Rainer is going to be there as well. So we're going to have some of the big European names in that tournament, alongside, of course, qualified players that made it through the qualifiers and made it through this event as well, for example. So with that, we are going to be wrapping up for the time being. Hope you all had a great time. Hope you all had a great day of casting. There we go. That's the spirit. True. But yes. With that, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. And with that, again, our next cast is going to be. Bam, as we mentioned, there it is. Our next broadcast is going to be in 15 hours. 15 hours time, I'm going to be live here on the channel. I'm going to try to stay awake for as long as I can and try to sleep and wake up just before the cast so I can be well rested and jump into some Tuna Cup action, then into, of course, the FEL playoffs. There we go, back to back. We'll be there for it. Otherwise, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time. We'll see you guys tomorrow for some more StarCraft. We'll see you then. Also, if you want to support us, if you want to support our tournaments, then you can do so via Patreon. !Patreon in the chat. You'll get a link to our Patreon. Our Patreon specifically is designed to fund our tournaments. It all goes towards the players. So if you want to help support the StarCraft 2 scene and the StarCraft 2 player base, you can do so via our Patreon to help us grow our tournaments and help us grow the prize pool for our tournaments as well. So you can support us there if you wish. Otherwise, you can also subscribe, or you can also follow us on Twitch, follow us on YouTube. We upload VODs to YouTube on a daily basis, so there's plenty of VOD action for you on YouTube. If you can't watch something live, and if you want to watch it, and if you're like, oh, I can't watch the KSL, for example, I can't watch Korean StarCraft League, or I can't watch Pegastar Cup, or I want to tune in to the VOD of the podcast, of the StarCraft 2 podcast that we host, but if you can't watch it live, then YouTube is the place to be. Otherwise, thanks for watching, thanks for support, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for some more StarCraft. See you then. Ciao, bye, ciao. See you next time.